Hey everyone, this is Pake for Life, and in today's Transformers video review, we'll be taking a look at the Transformers Generation Combiner Wars Decepticon Dragstrip. This is the first in the Combiner Wars series, and really it's a line that we've all been really excited about ever since it was announced, and really since, you know, we all love combiners. I can't imagine anyone not loving combiners. So let's see if this guy is a good start to the Combiner Wars line. Alright, so let's start off with packaging review, and as you can see, it's a very different packaging than we've used to for the Generations line. It's actually kind of interesting. The art here is actually not that great in the sense that it's not very crisp. I was a little taken aback by the quality of the image that they used, but you do get a very different take. So this plastic piece is actually not a rectangle. It's angled this way and angled at the side, so it's very distinct in how it's designed. I don't know why they decided to do that. Maybe for something different, but anyway, it's just kind of interesting to take note of. Then you get the figure itself, which you see in robot mode, dragstrip, in large detail, and you can actually see right now that he has a big gray section here, which is clearly the combiner peg that goes on. Then you get to see some of the additional accessories. It says here, combined to form in all the different languages. We do see a little picture of his alt mode there, and you also see that it includes a collector's card, which is great because that's something that Takara has done with their Masterpiece line, and that third parties have been doing for quite a while. So it's a welcome addition. If you look onto the side here, you actually see two pictures of the combiners from the first year, I guess, or the first series of combiners. So the first two that are going to be released are Superion and Menace. Obviously, Dragstrip being one of 5 for Menace, and the only one in this first wave. So the first wave of Deluxes has 4 figures, and one of them is Dragstrip, the only Decepticon, and the rest are for Superion. And you get to see Transformers along this side and the Generations logo up top here. Alright, taking a look at the back of the card, you can see a lot of great details. You have a very short kind of bio, I guess, up here. Ruthless Decepticon Racer, that's all they really said. Note that all these figures in the Combiner Wars series can become an arm or a leg, which is really interesting. So it's very Scramble City in that sense, which is kind of cool. I don't know if I love it, but I think it's very nice that they give you that option, especially for certain figures who have been throughout the history of the series. Sometimes an arm, sometimes a leg. So you can see here for the first wave, this is the first wave I was talking about. You get Dragstrip, you have Skydive, you have one of the first Voyagers, Silverbolt, Alpha Bravo, and then Firefly, which I'll be doing reviews on all this week. And then at the top you kind of see this X-ray blueprint detail with Dragstrip as an arm for the rest of this wave of Superion figures. Very odd, but I was thinking that they'd break it up 2 and 2 at least, but they didn't. But yeah, that's it for packaging. Pretty nice packaging. Again, I wish they used a higher quality image there, but other than that, it's a really nice new box or card for the Deluxe line. Alright, so let's get this guy out of the packaging and get on with the review. So here we have Dragstrip out of packaging, and let's take a look at what he comes with. So he has his character bio card, and you can see he looks drastically different. And this figure honestly looks drastically different than most versions of Dragstrip. So this is more of a traditional kind of look. You can see he has more wheels, the 6 wheels that Dragstrip's known to have, and the chest, which is more typical of Dragstrip, which is kind of where the driver would sit. But yeah, there's the character card. He also has the never-ending booklet of instructions. I'm not even going to bother showing that off. And then we have the character Dragstrip himself. So let's take a look at his accessories. So first off, he has this knife, like blade, like a military knife. It's pretty cool looking, honestly. I don't really know what this peg is for. I don't know why it's kind of off to the side. I don't think they even mentioned it in the instructions. So yeah, I don't really know what that's for. Alright, let's go ahead and get... I will say that this 5mm peg seems a little big, so it's hard to get into some of the fists, and when I put it into this fist in combine mode, let's see if I can show it off. You can see I have stress marks here. You may or may not be able to see it, but I have stress marks on this side just from putting this in. So weird. He also has this blaster, which is the combiner foot and hand, and this kind of has just squared off front, so I guess it's just like a blaster. Set this off to the side as well. And let's get a look at Dragstrip himself. A quick 360. As I said before, he's drastically different than most iterations of the character. He's known for having the 6 wheels instead of 4. Although the look of him from all sides is really nice. I actually like this. He is, I saved him for last because he is my favorite of the deluxes from Wave 1. And he's just really, really fun. But he is definitely different. So, first of all, he doesn't have the cockpit kind of chest that he's known for, as you can see here. And most iterations do have that. I mean, this does look like one version of the IDW version of Dragstrip, where he does have a great chest. In that version, he also has kind of lines on his feet that are more akin to this. So you can flip up these pieces and the spoiler up like that, and this actually looks pretty close to one version of him, but then it makes him kind of short, and so I don't recommend that, but you do have that option if you really like that version of Dragstrip. The other thing that you'll notice that is really kind of weird about him is his head sculpt. So let's go ahead and... Sorry, I'm having a little bit of problem just because maybe I played with him too much, but his leg collapsing mechanism doesn't seem to work that well anymore. I'm gonna have to see if I can tighten it up a bit. So his head sculpt is pretty drastically different than any head sculpt I've seen before. He has like crying tears going on. So his G1 version did have a visor, not separate eyes, but most versions of him do have separate eyes. I like the separate eyes, surprisingly. I know I always say I like the G1 cartoon, but the G1 cartoon of him is really plain and has like no details almost, mostly just kind of a yellow block. And his head did have that blue face and red visor, but definitely not these like teary, bloody tear eyes. It's kind of cool in the sense that he's supposed to be pretty evil, but I kind of wish he had a more traditional look in either the cartoon or even his other iterations like the toy or other comics. Just the look of him with the bloody tears is just kind of weird. I don't know. Doesn't make me think Dragstrip. So let's scooch down a bit. As far as articulation goes, his head is on a ball joint. It's a very, I think it's a ball. I'm trying to confirm. Yeah, it is. I thought I checked it before, but it doesn't really have a lot of movement, so he doesn't get much down, up, or head bobble. It's kind of odd. An odd choice. So yeah, he does have that. He has shoulders that go up and down, shoulder joint that goes up and down, but he also has a ball jointed shoulder that can go all the way around. He has a bicep swivel. He has nice elbows. He doesn't really have wrist articulation, but they do fold in, so I guess you can call this kind of articulation if you want. He does have the really low waist swivel that has been the case with all of the Wave 1, like Superion people too, so I'm guessing that's going to carry on through Wave 2 as well. Ball jointed hips, upper thigh swivel, knee bend, not quite 90 degrees, but pretty close. As before, he does have these pieces of the rear of the car that can fold forward. So I guess you can call this ankle articulation, but it really needs to tab in to be secure. And that's really about it. So for transformation, we're gonna go, he's supposed to be an arm, both in the Combiner Wars Wave 1, how they have him as a stand-in for an arm for Superion, the right arm. So we're gonna finish off in right arm mode, and he's also typically, I think, the right arm in on menace as well, if I'm not mistaken. So we're gonna finish off in that, and we're gonna start in robot. So we're gonna go robot to alt to leg, and then leg to arm. And his transformation is really fun. I like what they did with him. The transitions between each of the modes are pretty easy, but they're also fun. So he's the desktop figure that I play with all the time. So the first thing we'll do is turn his head around. We'll fold in the hands, straighten up the arms. We're going to rotate at the waist 180 degrees. You can peg the two halves of the leg together. And the legs are actually on a collapsing mechanism. I should show this off a little bit first. Mine has gotten really loose. I mean, it was never really tight before. It was actually kind of nice. But now, like you can hear it click out, but very little. It takes like no resistance to push it down. So I'm gonna have to open it up at some point. This one actually does take resistance, you can see. So I'm gonna have to check it out and see what's going on with this one. But in any case, go ahead and fold these, collapse these together, and then collapse the legs all the way down. They do peg in. There's some pegs here and slots in the back. So just line those up. Those peg together just fine. You're gonna rotate the shoulders down and pull the arms in. And they kind of sit into place, and they have some tabs here that have corresponding slots there. The head, just keep it there. You're going to unpeg, you're going to go around to the back, you're going to unpeg the front of the car, rotate it 180 degrees, and then fold it down. And then there's two tabs here and here that go into these slots. And there we have Dragstrip in alt mode. And it's a pretty cool looking alt mode. I definitely like this alt mode. It's different, but it's different than the six-wheeled car drag racer that we're used to seeing him as, but it's still a nice drag racer. You can use this port for something. I'm trying to figure out what you could use it for. You use it to connect the nose cone, but any other, it should be 5mm. So if any of these had a hole in it, oh, here you go. I just noticed that. I guess you can plug this in. I don't know why you would, but you can plug that in. I guess you can fold it up like this and have it sit here. Actually, that looks pretty good. I don't know if that was supposed to be. Let me check the instructions. I said I wasn't going to look at them, but now I'm looking at them. Yeah, they don't show that off. But you can do that, and this actually looks pretty cool. So I just figured that out on the fly for myself, I guess. There are other ports. You can use these on the side, I guess, but it's too wide, so you can't really actually get it stuck in there. I guess you can use this weird port and this weird post and jab it in, so you can have a knife coming out like this. I don't know, it's kind of odd. His wheels feel, I mean, they're plastic, but they feel a little bit softer or rubbery. I don't know. They do feel like they have some grip on it. So yeah, that's it for, oh, let's actually do a 360. Sorry about that. Front. I like how they have the driver section there with a little bit of top piece of the molded steering wheel. Come around side. And I've always liked Dragstrip's colors, the yellow and kind of, I don't know, maroon color that you get here. I always like this combination. It's definitely different, but I like it. And the bottom is actually pretty clean. You don't see a lot of anything because the collapsed legs and the arms being part of the side. You see the head, but it's pretty well hidden. Yeah. I wish they had a little bit more paint details. You only really get the maroon, and then you also get the silver in the back for the engine, and the silver here in the front. I think it could definitely use some more paint apps, but what it has makes sense. I think if it had some couple racing stripes or something like that, it would look a lot nicer though. Alright, so let's go from alt to foot. And that's pretty easy. All you're going to do is untab this section up here. You're going to need to bring the head forward, but not until a little bit later. Let's scroll this up. So you're going to rotate this around, and then using that peg that we saw before in this peg hole in the front, which was used in robot mode, do that. You're going to rotate this up. You're going to rotate this up. And they don't show this in the instructions, but you're actually supposed to pull this up, because that's what they show the final mode is. It's supposed to be for foot mode. You rotate that up, and then you make use of this port. It also has a port here, but that's apparently for arm mode. And then you put the fist in, fold that out, the gun in, and fold out the heel, and then you have leg mode. Very basic leg mode. So yeah, you can keep this down if you want. And I actually haven't compared him to the other legs, so I'm not sure if height-wise. I should bring in another guy in leg mode to test it out, but I'm too lazy. It's already past midnight my time, trying to get all these reviews out and catching up. So I'm not gonna do that, but it should be fairly obvious when you plug it into as a foot next to one of the other footbots whether it needs to be folded up or not. But officially it says folded up, so we're gonna fold it up. Ow. Alright, so let's get into arm mode. Arm mode is pretty simple. We're gonna go what we just did. We're gonna do what we just undid. We're gonna fold this down. We're gonna plug this in here. Fold out the fingers. Rotate up. He's the right hand, so we'll rotate this up. Fold the thumb down. Fold up the pin here. Gonna rotate this down, and the only other thing you need to do is kind of unpeg these arms and extend the legs going down. And with the arms, what you do is kind of weird. You just rotate the arms up at the shoulders, like so. Then you rotate at the bicep joint, 90 degrees, and you just basically fold them up. I think the instructions have them angled up like this, but there's no no real way, whatever you want to do. I just basically fold them so that they meet in the middle, and then pull down on the shoulders until it's kind of like that. Like I said, the instructions I think have it up a little bit more like this. I can kind of see that because you might want to not get in the way of the combiner port. But for the most part, this configuration should work. Though, what I like about this arm mode compared to the others is that the collapsing legs actually give you a little bit of freedom to shorten up the arms and not lose articulation. And that's one of the things I think the Aerialbots suffer from, is you either have to collapse the legs all the way and lose elbow articulation, or you have to have them really long. And the arm moves are really a little too long. They make Superion and Menace look kind of gorilla-ish. So I wish more had this collapsing leg feature so that you can kind of customize it to your needs. Make a bit more well-proportioned combiner. So now we're going to go backwards. Let's go ahead and get into foot mode. So we're going to do the opposite. We're going to bring out the arms, straighten them out, rotate them back down, rotate them like so, collapse the legs, make sure that's all the way in, tabbed in there, pull the arms to the sides, push them in so that they're tabbed, then bring out the fist, rotate this up, ow, mine's really tight there, then close up the fingers, rotate the thumb back so it's the heel, plug it in, and rotate this up. Then you have leg mode. Let's keep it going. Take this out, rotate this down. I'm going to rotate the combiner port in, rotate the head down, unpeg the front of the car, rotate it 180 degrees, and use these two tabs again. And then we got alt mode, and last but not least we're going to go into robot mode. So we're going to start off untabbing this, rotating it, using that peg hole and that peg. Unpeg the arms and bring them up at the shoulders. Flip out the hands using these nice handy tabs. Rotate, you need to pull the legs down, rotate at the waist, separate the legs, and then do the head reveal by rotating the head 180. And there we have Dragstrip back in robot mode. So like I said, he's my favorite of the Combiner Wave 1. He's just really fun. I like his transformation. Also, his transformations are quick. While I like the mechanics that they use for the legs for all the Aerialbots, this Dragstrip is just really fun. I like it. If I could fix the legs a little bit, I'd be a lot happier. I'm gonna have to open it up and see what's going on there. But he's a lot of fun. He's the most drastic departure from his most well-known iterations, but overall I really like this figure. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep up to date with all my news and reviews, click the subscribe button. And last but not least, if you want to add this guy to your collection, go ahead and click on the Toy Dojo link in the description below to pick him and his wave mates up, as well as the other Combiner Wars characters in Legends, Deluxe, and Voyager, and Leader Class. Alright, that's all for today, everyone. Have a good one.